Hello, in this video I'm talking about my T5 van. This is my recreational van. I'm lucky enough to have two T5 vans and I've had a real problem with this one. So what's been going on is I'd go to bed at night, I turn my van off, obviously lock it as normal, and then the hazard lights would just come on randomly in the middle of the night, and I'd go downstairs, I turn them off, and then my battery's going flat, and then I had other weird things going on, had my horn started blowing, windscreen wipers going off, all sorts of crazy stuff going on. And I've managed to work out what the problem is, and this is the thing that's been giving us all the trouble, this little unit here. Now I'm going to turn my van on and we're going to see what's going to happen. Oh, well, you can see actually the hazards have just started flashing randomly. Oh, they have gone off, but they don't always go off. There we go, but they're off now. Now let's see what happens when I try starting my van. Now it's going to start. And there we go. Don't know if you can hear that. Indicator flashing. Oh, put my windscreen wipers on. Horns. Oh, it's just like it has a mind of its own. Windscreen wipers on. Hazards are now flashing. Turn them off. Turn my hazards back off again. Yeah, don't worry about the oil light. That's another issue which I'll come across. But anyway, you can see indicator flashing, not on. What's going on? I've been taking the fuses out. I tried doing that to try and stop the horn from blowing so I could drive my van around. I tried doing all sorts of things, but in the end it got to a point where I just couldn't drive it anymore. Now I'm lucky enough to have two T5 vans, so I was able to swap parts over to work out what was exactly wrong. So now it's been about 2.5 years since I made that video and I'm just uploading it now. I just wanted to add that I went to a VW garage and I asked the garage if they could fix the problem, and they said yes, they can fix it. I would need a new BCU. Just going to pause the video here 1 second. I keep calling it a BCU throughout this video, and I've since found out that it's actually called the BCM, so it's body control module and not body control unit, but it's pretty much the same thing. And that was going to cost in the region of £700 to get that and to get it programmed to the van. And even if I got a second-hand one, I'd still need to program it to the van. Well, I didn't really believe that, and that's why I went and looked on eBay. I bought one off eBay for 50 quid. It's still the same one in today. I haven't done any programming with it. The van's been working absolutely fine. And like I said, I'm 2.5 years on. And I only paid 50 quid for the second-hand one. So I want to let you guys know that. So if you get the same problem, then maybe this is all you need to do to get your van back up and running again. I had a quick look online to see how much a brand new one is, and you can see it is £769 for a genuine VW new BCM, and it still needs to be fitted and maybe coded into your vehicle. Now I did swap the two BCUs between my orange van and the blue van, and although the blue van is a 08 plate and my orange van is a 04 plate, the two vans are very similar in that I don't have air conditioning and I don't have electric windows, but everything else is pretty much the same. So I figured that pretty much the BCUs are probably going to be the same, and I'd say it pretty much proved to be the case. Now if you're more experienced in that, then obviously let me know, or let everybody know in the comments if I've done the right thing, because like I said, I've put a new one in it. Sorry, I put a second-hand one in it and it's worked absolutely fine, and I haven't had any issues at all. Now the only issue which I did have was that my airbag light came on, but I noticed when I made the video that airbag light was on at the start of the video, so I'm not quite sure why that was. But anyway, even when I put the new BCU in, that airbag light was still on, and my MOT was due, so I took it to the garage. They MOT'd it, they checked it over, reset it, and then that airbag thing wasn't the fault. So I don't know if that's part of the BCU or something else, but either way it was just a simple reset and I didn't need to do anything else with the van. Now what the BCU stands for is body control unit, and basically it controls everything else in your van apart from your engine. So your engine manages itself, but everything else like your windscreen wipers, your lights, your windows, your central locking, or maybe your air conditioning is coming on or going off, or like I had the hazard lights coming on and indicators going on off, and obviously the horn was blowing like crazy. So any one of those things, they're all controlled by the BCU. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you go about removing that BCU, how you take this side panel off here and these switches on the front here, so you can get to this panel here and take this panel here off. Now I actually damaged my panel slightly. I made a little crease in it when I was trying to get it off, but I'll show you how you go about getting all these off so you can get to that BCU nice and easily. Now at the end of the video, I'm going to show you another fault which I had, which is underneath this chair. Now I fixed that fault a good few years ago and it's all been working fine since then, but it's worth mentioning that, and that was to do with the central lock-in. There's a wire under there which can cause you some problems. So I'll show you what that was at the end of the video. So if you want to stick around and see that, if you get in trouble with the central lock-in, you might want to just check that out, because I know that that is a common fault, the wire underneath this seat here. I just wanted to let you know quickly that since I had that fault, I've now turned this van into a camper van, and I'm really loving that camper van life, so much so that me and my wife have decided to buy ourselves a crafter, which is just here, and we're going to convert that into a camper van. If you're interested in how this turns out and how we're going to turn that into a camper van with solar panels, electrics and batteries and cookers and all sorts of other stuff, then obviously you can click on subscribe and ring on that bell to get a notification the next time I upload a video, which is going to be all about how to convert your van into a camper van. And right now I'm actually working on the solar panels, so I'll be fitting 3 of those because the van is going to be all electric. I'm going to have no gas in it. So if that sounds like it's interesting to you, then of course you can click on the links which are down in the description below. Right, so just to go over what's on this unit, obviously that you can see I haven't got all the plugs plugged in there. I don't also say I haven't got them plugged in. I don't have all the plugs. See, there's no pins coming out of these plugs here. So your BCU may be different, but obviously that's what mine has. Now this is the other way up and sits up underneath this panel here, and it goes into the slots into this box here. Now when you come to take these clips out, they are really hard to get out, and I don't think maybe there's a special tool to get them out, but it is pretty tricky to get these little clips out. So you've got to push that bit in and then pull the plug down, and like I said, it's super hard to get it off. Now I was using some pliers, and I was trying to hold it here and pull, but really careful with that, because I've ended up damaging a couple of wires here. See, I've damaged those there, whatever, and I haven't broken all the way through, but you know, I was close to doing that, trying to squeeze that and pull these plugs off. Now I did eventually work out how they're supposed to come apart. You have to push the clip in and then push the plug up into the BCU whilst you are pushing that clip in, and then you can pull the plug off. Maybe if you use a screwdriver instead, you can push it into the little slot, lever on the clip whilst pushing the plug up, and then you can pull the plug back down again. But it is super hard. Maybe there's a special tool, I don't know, but it's proper tricky to get these little things off. Now I've only got these plugs partly pushed in, so I can easily remove them from the BCU. Now maybe if you got air conditioning and electric windows, you may have additional plugs plugged into this BCU, but they've all got special shapes, so you can't accidentally plug them into the wrong slot. Now this is the faulty one, so I'm just removing those last couple of plugs, and there we go, they're all now removed. Now let's take a look at that part number which is on this BCU. So this is the second-hand one which I bought off eBay for just £50. And when you compare the 2 units, you can see the part numbers here. This part number here is the same until we get to the letter on the end, which is here is a J. Now on my old one, you'll see it is a AB. And the VW garage told me that I needed a unit with the same part number and ended in an E. And obviously you can see this is a J. I've already tested it and it works absolutely fine. You can see when I compare the 2 units, the pins are exactly the same. There's no pins in there, no pins in there, there's pins in there. You can see they are both the same. So I'm going to go over to my work van now, my orange van, and we're going to take the unit out of there, and I'm going to show you how to take your van apart, but in reverse order, because I'll be putting mine back together. So this is my work van, and you can see I've got the panel loose on the bottom here, and I'll show you how you remove that. And obviously the BCU is plugged in and the plugs are just loosely plugged in and it's not fully slotted in its position. So I'm going to take that out when we just compare those numbers. So now you can see the difference being is this one is a H. Okay, that one there was a J, and that one there is a AB. Okay, so but again the pins are all exactly the same, but I'm going to put this one back in my orange van now, and I'll show you how that goes in there. So like I said, this is my work van. I've had this van from new, and it hasn't got that many miles on it. So I mean, even though it's an 04 plate, it's still got really low mileage on it, because I just drove around my local town doing all the work. So this hasn't had much use, although it is considerably old. So you don't need to pull the whole van apart to get this out. You can just get to it by doing it, by just literally moving this there, taking a few clips out, and I'll show you exactly what you need to do. The only thing which a little tiny bit damaged, I creased that there, and I realised what I did wrong, but I can make sure that you don't do that, because I just pulled the panel in the wrong way. But this panel is really hard to get out. It tucks right in the back, right around the back there. It's this freaking little bugger to get out. Anyway, so now I'm going to put this orange van back together, and I'm going to show you how you do that, so you'll then know how to take it apart. So on the BCU, you've got these clips here, and they clip in, so that when you come to take the unit out, you need to push these two little clips in, so you can then slide the unit forwards. And the unit slides in to that metal carriage just there. You can see there's like a metal carriage there, and it just slides in and locks into place with those little clips. Now we've got this big wiring loom here, which I can just move to one side. And this is the metal carrier that holds the BCU. So let's just slide that into place. So you just put that into there, and then it just slides backwards, and when it goes in, you'll hear it click into position, and then you know it's locked in, and then you can't pull it forwards. So to take it out, you just got to push the two clips in on each side, and then it will slide forwards. So I'm not sure whether this is going to come out, because I'm on my back in the van. Okay, let's try and get this cable. Right, so then obviously, it's pretty straightforward. You just plug the plugs back in again. There's only one which is particularly hard. I think it's the black one which goes in the back here. That lead is not so easy to get to where you want it to go. So I guess they're the big power ones, and obviously that goes into there like that. You can see a little clip there. Get that there. There it goes up. There you go, clip over the top there. So we could have taken off there. Right, see how I'm squeezing it? It's just not coming off. It's real little big. I think you can push it up and squeeze it to get it off. But anyway, I'm not going to take that back out again now, because I'm right. I'll get it there. That's pretty sure this black one goes at the back here. Yeah, that's a tricky one to get to. I got these couple here. Let's go to there. Oh, it goes on the other side still. So that one there. Where is it? That one there. Right, there we go. So that one there. And there we go. So that's my work van back together again. So now that one there is all plugged back in again. You can see that's all plugged in there, underneath there. And then it's just a case of putting this one here back. So you can see here, these clips here, they pull out, and that's where I went wrong. I tried to do it slightly differently, didn't realise they pulled out. So they just go back in, okay, like that. Now they said I've seen some videos saying you have to pull this thing here and unplug it. I haven't found that's the case at all. You can see it's just sat in here. I haven't had to remove this light switch. That just has moved that out of the way, and it's been absolutely fine. So we can just put this one back in here, line those clips up, like that, and the one underneath there like that. So we've got three there. Got 1, 2, 3, and you can literally just push it in, and then we've got a screw here to do up there. Okay, and then this just pops back into there like that. Okay, so let's get that screw back in there. So I'm just using my electric drill on this. Yeah, don't go crazy tight with these. Okay, now I can just put this back in again. Okay, so that just slots it into there. Like that, and then you need to put that screw back into here, or that would be the next screw which you would take out. Okay, so I'm going to put those screws back in. One screw in here, and then I've also got a screw in here as well. Like that. So just put one out back in. That and that. Okay. And then this panel here, this one here just pushes on. So this is where you start from. You put something in here, you just pop that panel off, and then you can start taking the rest of it apart. So here's the side panel. These are just clips. They literally just push on and just clip on. So you just pull it off when you come to take it off again. And you can see they just slot in like that. So you just want to slot that into there like that. See how that sort of goes in there first? Then we just push that back against there. Okay, so there's some little slots on the bottom to line up with your panel there. That seems to be it. There you are. That's it. So when you come to take this off, you just got to get a little tool inside here and just leave it off. So you've got left a little scratch. And you see I made that little crease there, but that's because I sort of levered this out. If you just pull it away, then you're not going to get that. Okay, so yeah. Now underneath here, got this screw here to do up. So that's where that panel was held onto there. I didn't bother undoing this screw here. Okay, so that you can leave that one in there. Okay, so that one there next. There we go. And that holds that lot all together. Then you got a whole bunch of screws just holding on this black panel in the back here. Get one there, obviously one there, one here, and one here. And I think there's a couple on the front there as well. So here's the other panel I needed to remove. That one there just slots up, and you can see where the screw holes are. You've got one on here, obviously next to that, where that plug there is. You've got one in the front here, and you've got another one in the front, and that one there. And then the one here, and one over there. All right, get these all back in again. So you've got this one here. This one here. In the middle here. And one on the end here. And then we got another one back there. Okay. Then we should got one right back. One right there. Got one there. And one there. It's got one last one over there. Here we are. My work van is back together. Now back to my blue van. Just run through that again. So that's the unit there. You got these two clips there because you've got more room to see inside here. And obviously you can see how that slides back into that unit back there. Okay, so let's do that again. And it just pushes back. It clips into place. You can see these little clips on the side here. That's the ones you need to unclip. So you need to push something in there. So you see that clip just moving there? That's it, that one there. So you need to put one on one side, one on the other side, and then the unit just slides out forwards. And now it's just a case of plugging this lot back in again. So the other one, this other lead just goes to this computer interface point. Now I thought just add, when I did this, I didn't disconnect the battery. So I did this with everything still connected, and I just unplugged everything and plugged everything back in again, and I didn't get any problems at all. But looking back, it might have been a good idea to disconnect it. Now just finishing off putting all those plugs in. I know when they go in position because I hear a little click as the clip goes over the top of that retainer. And there we go. So this is a second-hand unit. I bought it off eBay, £50. And yeah, that seems to be fine. All right, now to test the van. Does it work? And there we are. No flashing lights, indicator working. I'll quickly mention that oil light. So what was happening when I'd start the engine, the oil light didn't go off, and if I run the engine for 30 seconds, stop it and then restart it, the oil light would go straight out like it's supposed to. After replacing the oil pressure sensor, that fault was then gone. Now just a recap on that airbag light. So you can see the airbag light is on, and it was on at the start of the video as well. And my MOT was due, so I took it to the garage. They did the MOT, they plugged their computer in, reset whatever needed to be reset, and then it was all fine, and they said there was no faults showing on the van. So using a second-hand BCU wasn't an issue at all. one other thing I noted you might want to check first of all, because my van gets quite wet because I use it for recreational water sports stuff, and underneath your front seat here, so if you are going around and you've got a wetsuit on or something, or even if it gets very wet underneath here, I had a problem with this a couple of years ago, and apparently this is a common thing. You got these clips here. This is all to do with the central lock-in, I think. But these wires here, these are underneath the floor. And one of these wires, this one here, I think it is, just the red one because I've taped it up. That one there is just like clamped together. It's just like bare wire. And obviously, if it's getting wet, that corrodes away and causes lots of weird problems. So make sure, I would definitely recommend checking this wire underneath the seat just to make sure it is okay. And I've just pulled this bit of foam away in the end because, like I said, I'm quite often wearing a wetsuit, and I've got towels down there to catch any water. But you might want to just check that to make sure that isn't a problem, because I've heard that is a real problem. It certainly was a problem for me anyway. So yeah. Since filming this, I've found out that the unit that the plugs plug into is for your central lock-in, and it's what your keys talk to. So when you press the button on your key fob, that talks to that little box there. If anybody knows any different to that, then please let us all know in the comments below. So if you do have that problem with your BCU and this video helps you out and you get it sorted out, then maybe let us know in the comments, or let everybody know what you came across, what you had to do, whether you had to buy a new one, whether you had to get it coded, because like I said, I didn't do that with mine. But let us all know in the comments down below. And if you want to know more about my crafter van build, then of course you can click on the links down below again, and of course click on subscribe, ring on the bell, and give me a thumbs up if that video has been helpful to you. Bye for now, and I hope to see you in the next video.